Lost a tough one. Thought Virginia Tech did a very nice job. They did a great job on third down converting and making some big plays and on their conversion downs, and not only converting but making big plays. And Tyrod did a nice job keeping plays alive in the second half, and they were able to run it enough. And we had some opportunities to match. They come out in the second half and I think scored the first drive, and we had a 3-and-out, and then they scored, and we come back and scored. And then we're driving again midfield, and we had a route we should have sit down on, and we dropped. And then on fourth down, we threw a high ball, and that got them, and then they scored. And then and we came back, because we got that return back, and then that kind of got ahead of it, and then we couldn't get back after that. It's the 4th and 1 after that. But they matched. They were hot. We didn't slow them down at all in the second half, and they played a great ball game, and they deserved to win the ball game. Hopefully, we'll learn from this, get a little better. And I was proud of the kids the way they competed. They kept fighting in the game, had chances in the game. I think we dropped a big one. I thought early dropped that touchdown early. I think hurt us a little bit too. I thought we dropped one the first drive there. They really could have kept it tied at halftime, but hopefully we'll learn from it. Got a lot of young players in this team, getting this environment some more, and maybe we'll excel the next time.
Good questions. Raise your hand. Let us get the handheld mic to you, and let us know who you are, who you're with. First question in the front row.
Viv Bernstein, AOL fan house. Can you explain the Ponder decision?
Yeah, at the end of the week he was still banged up, and they drained some fluid off his elbow, and it wasn't fluid, it was blood. And when you start draining blood, you got to be a little careful. And it wasn't. I wasn't going to jeopardize his future for one football game. And it just needed rest. It was still sore, and it was having a hard time later in the week. And early in the week it wasn't bad, but then it started getting really sore later in the week and started getting hard. And it wasn't worth taking a chance on his future and his career.
Bill Haas, the ACC.com. Coach, what was the common thread on those third down? Was it anything defensively that you weren't doing? Or?
Well, we weren't doing a lot of things. Tyrod was keeping plays alive. We had to cover him longer, and he was scrambling, making plays, and either running it or throwing it, and he was creating those situations. And we got to get better pressure on him. Got to get the ball out of his hand and make sure we stay with guys down the field. And then they had a couple of routes right there late. Then that one big one that they hit the crossing routes on. They hit 2 of them the same play in the second half. They did a nice job on them.
When was the blood issue with Ponder?
It was later in the week. It started on Thursday, and we thought Wednesday or Thursday, and we thought we could still be okay with it. But then the doc said it just wasn't worth a chance. We got talking, and it wasn't. And he was still really sore. He wasn't as sore during the week. It usually stays sore and usually get better. It wasn't getting much better later in the week, and then so we just made a decision that it wasn't the right thing to do.
Jimbo, could you talk about just EJ's performance? Obviously, he played pretty well for the most part.
I thought he did. We had two tough plays. The one in the first half, I don't really put on. Their linebacker made a great play. He dove and tipped the ball, and then of all things, it tips and ricochets back to their guy who's looking the other direction, catches it, and runs it in for a touchdown. That's just a great play by them. That's sometimes those things happen. I thought the rest of the first half did a great job. Second half we come out, he played well. He had the high throw on fourth down that caused the second interception, but we should have had the third down catch earlier, and we'd have been there. But that's part of growing. And the one time he slipped, we had a post route. They were in zero coverage, and we had double post on. We was going to have a chance for another big play. Feet just slipped out. But for the most part, the guy made plays with his legs. He competed well, kept his poise and composure. I was very proud of the way he played the game. I really was.
We'll also take questions for EJ as well. Middle of the room.
EJ, this is a few. When did you know you were going to start, and how was your reaction? Obviously, during the week, you didn't know you were going to start. So did you react when you found out?
Found out I was going to start, Friday during walkthroughs, or Thursday, we had our light practice. You have to go every week and practice like you're going to start. Being a second string guy, you never know what's going to happen. And that's when I found out.
Jimbo, could you talk about, you did it at the Oklahoma game too, where the game was out of reach, but you wanted to finish the game and finish the drive. Yeah. Talk about what that means to EJ and to the offense to be able to do that.
It's more reps in those situations, and as a message to our kids, we're not going to quit. We tell them all the time, we're not quitting. And Virginia Tech should have kept throwing the ball, which they should have. We know we were calling, when you call timeouts, we weren't trying. They scored, that was great. But our job to keep playing hard, do the things you got to do to keep trying to win, and teach these kids not to quit. And for them to work some 2-minute offense, work those situations, get in the game and be able to do it, and have belief that you can take it down the field. And it's just more time, and you play till the zeros go on the clock. I mean, I know everybody wants you to do everything that way, but I don't believe in that, and I wouldn't expect them to do the same thing. They kept, so they were trying to score at the end, which they should have been.
To our left.
Coach David Teal from the Daily Press. You guys went after their freshman corner pretty frequently in the first half. How much better was Tech's defense in the second half when Carmichael played?
I don't think that had anything to do with it. I really don't. I just think we had a 3-and-out that got stopped on a run. It was a run. Then the second, we dropped the ball and then we overthrew a ball. In that situation in the second half, I mean, over there, we were still moving it. And the other drive we scored, and then they just kept scoring. The thing then was on offense. Their offense just, I mean, defense they played well, but offensively we couldn't slow them down in the second half. That was the key.
Jim, I know you still got a bowl game to go, but given the relative youth of this team, how good do you feel about 2011 and beyond?
I mean, I like the direction we're going. Like I told us, I thanked them for the work they did in setting a standard of how to do things, how to prepare, and how to practice. And our young guys have to carry that legacy on. And there's a lot of guys that's been in this situation. I think the environment was good for them to learn from. And, you have to get in these situations. And they played well all year. I think they performed well all year. And I had a lot of young guys make a lot of big plays. And I feel very good about our future. I really do. I like the direction our program's going.
EJ, this is Mark from the Washington Post. I'm curious, Tyrod's a guy who's from kind of right up the road from you. Did you watch him at all tonight from the sideline? And what did you think of his performance?
Yeah, definitely. I was watching the game, while I was on the sideline, and I thought he played great. Tyrod's always been that type of player, to move around, keep plays alive with his feet, and then still, look downfield and deliver a good pass. So he played awesome. I mean, the whole team played great today.
EJ, can you just take us through what happened on that second pick there? Because obviously you guys were still in the game.
Right. It was my fault. I'll take full blame for, interception or something like that. It was just me, the ball, I didn't have it in my hands correctly, like I should have. And it got away from me when I was on my release, and that's what caused it to sail and go over top of Willie, because Willie had the drag. It was an X and H drag, so edge vapor, I'm sorry. Y'all know what that is, but it was a drag. Willie had it, and I just overshot him in this interception, so it's my fault.
Coach, if Virginia Tech is the measure of this conference, how close is Florida State to catching them?
I think we competed in the ball game with them. I mean, we really did. They made a few more plays and had some mature guys at the right positions. But like I say, I feel very good about where we're going and being able to compete with everybody in our league. I really do. And especially as young as we are, and the confidence we're growing, and hopefully we can keep building on this in the offseason. But I feel very confident we can compete with everybody in our league. I really do.
Back of the room.
Coach, a question about the last touchdown pass that Tyrod threw. You had looked like the safety was splits in right in his face. He threw it over his head. You talked about that play. He looked like he deked him a little bit.
Yeah, he did, and the end was supposed to peel on the flare, and the end went for a little bit and didn't keep carrying the guy. And he did it, so because he would have had him in man. We brought 4 weak, brought the Will and the free safety off the weak side, which was a hot for them. They free released it back. He gave enough ground, and our end was supposed to peel, and he did for a little bit. He just didn't carry him down the field. Tyrod made a great play. He just kept giving ground. Kept his hands high and flicked it up high. That's what you got to do, handle the blitz. That's what an experienced quarterback can do. He did a great job.
Anyone else? To our right.
EJ, obviously it's a loss, but what can you take out of this performance, throwing for 288 and putting up 33 points against this type of defense?
You can always take something positive out of every game, whether you win or lose. Obviously we still have one more game to play, so just move on to it. Take the mistakes and turn them into positives the next time you get a chance to play. So definitely, this is a huge thing, both for confidence for our team and our organization as we move on in the future. Just to know that we can get here and that we can make plays and hang in the game and things like that. Obviously, we want to win. So from in the future, we just learn from it and just remember how to get back to this position and win.
Take a couple more. To our left.
Coach, in theory, Virginia Tech was supposed to be somewhat vulnerable against the run. What exactly did they seem to really have a lot of success shutting you guys down in that way?
They played the run very well. They bunched the box and had 6, 7, 8 guys in the game, and that's why we were having success in the passing game and getting on the edge. In the first half, at the end of the first half, we were still moving, running, and throwing. We had a good deal. Second half, we just got behind, had to keep throwing the ball. That's what happened in the second half. You couldn't stay with the run. You had to abandon it because they were scoring every drive and got up 3 scores. And when they got up 3 scores, you didn't have time to keep running the football. With the first half, I mean, we didn't run it great, but we had some pretty decent success in the first half with the option. Had a couple nice zone runs up in there, had a couple good plays.
Take two more. First one here.
Coach, I know not where you want to go, but can you talk about Atlanta and the Chick-fil-A Bowl?
Yeah, I've been to that bowl, I think, 3 or 4 times in my career. They do a phenomenal job. Anything involved with Chick-fil-A, they're first class. They do a phenomenal job. It's one of the best bowl games you can go to. The way they treat you, the hospitality. Atlanta's a great town, and playing in the Dome, it's a great environment there, and it's a great atmosphere. And again, playing an SEC folks, so we'll have a great opponent, and look forward to that challenge. It's a great venue, it really is. It's one of the best. I think one of the best bowl games I've ever been to, as far as the way they treat you and the hospitality and things they do.
Last question.
Keith McFarland, Examiner.com. Question for you: for the at the end of the first half, with both teams moving up and down the field, what were your thoughts at that point about how you felt?
I knew we were going to have to match and keep up. I thought we could maybe make some adjustments at halftime to slow them down, and get that taken care of, because I felt we could still move the football, which we did. We just didn't have enough at bats, and they kept it for long drives and kept it away from us. Like I said, we only had 60 plays, and probably 8 or 10 of them came at the end of that last drive, and what we did. But I knew it was going to be a scoring match. I just hoped we could make some adjustments at halftime to slow them down enough, and we could get maybe win at 35-31 or somewhere in that nature right there.
Thank you.